Hey everyone, Dr. Alex Twenge here, and we have a feature. This is one of my friends. This is Derek. Derek is a 10th grader, I believe. Dekers, I've been actually babysitting, so I was a manny for him and his brother for about 3 summers. We would play baseball and basketball and sports, and let me tell you, him and his brother are both very gifted athletes. Derek sent me this video asking me to just kind of like look at his squat. He goes, I sprained my ankle a little while back. I've been working on my mobility just to get deeper in my squat. He goes, I've already seen a pretty decent improvement, which is great. He knows that his shoulders and his hips aren't very mobile, which is fine. We all have our limitations. I'm just glad that he knows it. So let's get into it. We're just gonna watch. So there are 5 squats. I think it's 5 reps in this video. That we're gonna evaluate the first one and the last one because the other ones in the middle are just relatively the same. So here we go. Let's just watch. Let's watch the first one here. Derek, old Dekers. So he comes out of the rack, gets set. Obviously we can't see his feet here, which isn't the end of the world. We're just gonna work around it. Down and up. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning of this one. When he comes out of the rack, okay. Okay, so he comes out of the rack, looks pretty good. I'd like to see you. I'm talking to Derek because I'm going to send this to him later, obviously. So, Derek, when you do this, I want to see you take a big breath here. So fill up, huge breath, fill this up, and then walk out of the rack. So then we go here. He's going, walks out of the rack, gets himself set. So as we come out of the rack, you can see how far his elbows are behind the barbell, and you can see how far his head is forward in relationship to like where his hip and his shoulder are. So you can see his head's all the way up here, and his knees, I mean, we're not really stacked up. We're not ready to squat yet. Just things to notice. So like pay attention to where those are as we go forward here. So we're going to keep going. So here you go. He gets his feet set. Awesome. Now, right here, I think this is, so let's go back just a little bit. So right here, this is braced. So once again, we can see that Derek's head is, here's this like center of mass of his head, and then here's his shoulder. Here's his hip, here's his knee. You can see that if we drop a straight line here, so let's just drop it straight and just boom, right between, just kind of find the middle. It's not super straight. Camera angles and super straight. Let's redo that line. Do a better line, Alex. So they're straightish. You can see that we're kind of all over the place here. So what we would like to see is that these elbows come in, this head goes back a little bit, hips stay underneath shoulders, knee stays underneath hip. That's what we'd like to see. Now, this isn't a terrible place to start from your squat. I will say when you get down to the bottom, so if we watch here, he does a really good job. Derek gets set. Oh, here we go. He gets set. And he does a good job of breaking at the hip and the knee at the same time. So if you watch right here, his hips and his knees break at the same time. So these break and these break right away. They're together, which is awesome. So we go here, boom, hit go. He gets down to the bottom. He actually does a really good job of translating his knees anterior and keeping a nice flat back. So if you actually look here, he's in a really good, so his ear's about there. I mean, that's good right there. That's a really, like this position right here, the angles that he's creating are awesome. So we'll actually take a little knee flexion angle. We actually had this debate the other day on how important knee flexion is. Obviously that didn't work. Regardless, let me see if we can find it. Boom, here it is. So right there he's at 40 degrees of flexion and approximately 50 degrees of knee flexion. I mean, these angles he's creating right here are allowing him to take the bar and drop it straight down. So this is awesome. This is like, I mean, this positioning at the bottom, I can't see his feet right now, but I'll tell you what, from right here, this is very, very good. So then we go forward a little further, comes down to the bottom, boom, comes right back up, and finishes through with the glutes. So look at the difference in this position. So, good. Very good again. So this is what we want to see before we start. This is kind of like what we would want to see, Derek, as far as like a starting position. We'd want to see these pieces stack up like they are right here. Your head, we still need to work on this, but these things, so your head and your elbows, this and this are tied together. These two work in a system, and what they're doing is they're limiting it. It has something to do with what's going on here, and like just your mindset coming into this set position. Regardless, you achieve it at the bottom. So that was the first rep. Let's go to the last rep. And every racket. All right, good job. So last rep, we come on to the bottom of the, all right, right here. So you can see as we've gotten further into this set, he actually does a better job of getting in the line here. Now, I will say there's one other thing. I really want him to, he rushes his brace before he goes into the squat. So he takes a short breath at the top, whereas I would want a big breath and then brace. So we don't want a short breath at the top. We want to fill up so that we can turn ourselves into a spring. So that's one thing. Take more time in your brace, Derek. So like as soon as you walk out or between reps, make sure you get as much air in here and down into here as possible. Okay. So right here, we got this one. He comes down. Once again, I mean, this bottom position here from Derek is ear to hip. I mean, that's really, really, really good. I mean, like, this amps me up. That's awesome. The only thing I'd say that we, like, if I was going to say 3 things to improve on here, Derek. So 3 things I'd say to improve on are your, so let's just go ahead and we'll just beep, 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 stop right there. And we'll go, so I would say we need to work on our starting position, our brace, and maybe some tempo / tension when we're going into different positions. Yet overall, dude, your ability to just be an athlete has been something you and your brother have shared since you were young. You guys are just athletic, which is just a gift. Yet we can be better. There are certain little things, and I'll send them to you in a message, man. Regardless, so this is awesome. Thank you for letting me do this video. If you guys have anything like this, feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to do it for you. Talk to you next time.